large sums of money. I, however, had never even spoken to a woman outside my family before. My needs and desires were modest, and they were completely fulfilled by Samina. Samina was the widow of a wealthy businessman who had passed away a few years earlier. She had inherited all his wealth and property and was now spending it lavishly. I had no need to look elsewhere because Samina was meeting all my needs, financial and otherwise, with ease. God had not blessed Samina with children, which left a void in her life. She tried to fill that emptiness by spending money on friendships and indulgences. Over time, Samina started insisting that I marry her. She told me she loved me and couldn't imagine life without me. Her proposal left me anxious. There was no way I could marry a woman twice my age. My mother had dreams for my future and wanted me to marry someone of her choice. Moreover, Samina's past relationships with numerous men made it impossible for me to see her as a suitable wife. At the same time, my parents began discussing my marriage. But Samina's persistence grew stronger. She promised that if I married her, she would transfer all her wealth and property to me. Her offer tempted me. I began to rationalize, thinking, how many years does she even have left? I'll spend a few years with her, and once she's gone, I can marry someone else of my choice. Meanwhile, all her wealth will be mine, and I can live a life of luxury. When I shared this plan with my parents, my mother stared at me in shock, unable to believe her ears. My father was equally stunned. My mother scolded me harshly, saying, "Shame on you. You should be embarrassed even to think of such a thing. How could you marry a woman old enough to be your mother?" Despite their protests, I stood firm. My mother tried emotional blackmail, even threatening not to bless me, but I ignored her. I told them, I want to live life on my own terms. You should be happy for me. I'm getting wealth and property without lifting a finger, something I could never achieve even with a lifetime of hard work. My mother, disgusted, retorted, "Curse this kind of wealth. If it costs you your dignity, it's not worth having. I'm sure all this money you've been flaunting is because of that woman." Her words hit close to home, but I was too blinded by my dreams of a golden future to care. Ignoring their objections, I married Samina. She lived in a massive bungalow, so I moved in with her. Occasionally, I visited my parents, but they refused to speak to me and turned away whenever they saw me. On the first night after our marriage, I gave my wife a beautiful ring as a gift. She smiled and handed me a small packet, saying, "Use this. I want us to make tonight unforgettable," my wife said, her tone playful yet serious. Her words made me laugh out loud. I knew exactly what she meant. I decided to make the night as memorable for her as possible, something she would never forget. Opening the packet she had given me, I took the pills inside with a glass of milk. Soon it became a routine. Every few days, my wife would insist I take those pills. But over time, I started feeling weaker, as if my body was aging prematurely. I felt physically drained, but I couldn't let her see that. I knew she had a vibrant and demanding nature, and if I couldn't meet her expectations, she might lose interest in me, or worse, throw me out. And I couldn't let go of the wealth and comforts I was now enjoying. As the days passed, my physical weakness only grew worse. I began avoiding her, making excuses to keep my distance. Sometimes, I'd stay overnight at my parents' house, telling her my father wasn't feeling well. Other times, I'd pretend to be exhausted from work and act like I had no energy left. Her frustration was evident, but I didn't know what else to do. I could sense that she was gradually pulling away from me, but I felt trapped in a situation I couldn't fix. At a friend's suggestion, I started visiting a traditional herbalist for treatment, hoping to regain my strength. However, instead of helping, the herbal remedies only made things worse. Eventually, I realized I could no longer fulfill my marital duties, but I was too ashamed and afraid to tell my wife. One day, I broke down in tears during a visit to the doctor, explaining my situation. He listened carefully and then asked, "Have you taken any medication prior to this condition?" That's when I remembered the packet my wife had given me on our wedding night, though I had forgotten the name of the medication. The doctor told me to bring it to him so he could determine what was causing my problems. The next day, I brought the packet to him. When he saw it, his eyes widened in shock. "This is a heavy-dose medication," he said. "You should never have taken this. Where did you get it?" "This drug is banned here." I explained that my wife had given it to me. The doctor shook his head, clearly distressed. "Your wife may not have realized this, but by giving you this medication repeatedly to satisfy her temporary desires, she has permanently harmed your body. And by seeking treatment from various unqualified herbalists, you've only made your condition worse." He continued, "You'll need consistent medical treatment to recover. With time and effort, you may regain your ability to perform your marital duties, but it won't be an easy journey." The doctor's words had left me deeply disheartened. That night, when I returned home, I once again pretended to be too tired and went to bed early. But my wife was furious. She created a scene, yelling, "I didn't bring you into this house so you could sleep and relax, nor did I marry you so you can enjoy my wealth. I brought you here for a reason, and I expect you to fulfill it." Her words filled me with anxiety. Folding my hands in desperation, I pleaded, "I can't do this anymore. It's because of you that I'm in this condition. I'm no longer capable of fulfilling your expectations." I tried to explain, "The doctor has given me hope. With proper treatment and nutrition, I can recover and become my old self again. Please be patient until then." But she refused to listen. Her anger was blinding. "If I had known you were useless and incapable, I would never have married you," she snapped. Her cruel words enraged me. She had married me after witnessing my strength, and it was her actions that had caused my downfall. Yet, instead of admitting her mistake, she blamed me. To make matters worse, she began bringing other men into the house. She would shamelessly take them into our bedroom